Hello everyone, my name is Curtis, or most of you know me as ThatOneTryHard. You may be wondering why I'm making this video. Some will say it's for attention, others will say it's out of boredom, but the real reason why I felt the need to make this video is because I want to leave a positive impact on this community and let everyone know why I strive to be nice towards others. And no matter what happens in life, no matter what you go through, you can always look at things in a positive way. Let's be real here. A majority of the community is toxic, but they usually have other motives or struggles, and that's why they're the way they are. Something could be happening at their home life or at school that is very upsetting, or they're just depressed and feel like that's the appropriate outlet. Now, I am no way excusing toxicity, because as you will soon find out, I have not had the best life in the slightest. But I don't take it on random people. They didn't do anything to me. They didn't make me the way I am, so why is it fair that I would be mean towards them? Part 2. My parents. Okay, first off, let me preface this. Do not, I repeat, do not give me any sympathy for the things I've been through. Yes, it sucked, but it is in my past, and I'm over it. I use these things to mold me into the person I am today. I cannot change my past, so I will use this to motivate me to be a better person. So I will use this to motivate me to be better than them. Also, all of this part is based off of stories that my parents and family have told me because I wasn't exactly alive to experience most of these things. Now let's talk about my parents and how I was conceived. My dad was a 20-year-old heartless person who was real partier, druggy type, who didn't really care about anything and just wanted to have fun. My mother was 18 and basically the same type of person. But the only difference was she wanted a baby. They met at some party and hooked up, and my mom tricked my dad into getting her pregnant. I'm going to keep it PG and not go into the details, but my mom ended up getting what she wanted without my dad really wanting it. And at this current point in time, as this was happening, my dad was set to go to prison for breaking and entering. Him, along with his 4 friends, one of them being his cousin, they ended up robbing a place, and they were supposed to go to court, get everything done. Yeah. Now, his cousin didn't want to go to jail. He was terrified, so he pleaded guilty when they all agreed not to say anything at all and just let it happen. I don't have many details here, but out of dumb luck, my dad didn't end up doing time and just had a bunch of fines to pay off along with 2 years of parole. So that was that. My dad was stuck with my mom and decided that he was going to help her raise me and not abandon me. Then, 9 months later, I was born, and my dad felt something he thought he couldn't feel before, and he cared about me and wanted to make things right for me. He didn't want me to grow up like he did. He wanted a good life for me. My mom, on the other hand, regretted having me and didn't realize how much effort having a baby really is. To put it lightly, they both had no clue what they were doing. Part 3. My childhood. Now, like the last part, most of this is based off of what I was told and not what I remember. Growing up, my dad was always hardworking, trying to take care of the family, while my mom went to school to be a PCA, personal care assistant. She was very stressed and didn't take any parenting courses or didn't know how to take care of me properly. Now, one day, my dad went out fishing, and my mom was stressed and wanted to sleep. So, I was sent to my grandma's. Nothing really new there. But, when my grandma was giving me a bath, she had noticed handprints on my body. These were from my mother. When my grandma saw them, she freaked out and called my mother. She threatened her, along with telling my dad, who was furious. Nothing was done to my mother. She just apologized and promised not to do it again. Part 4. High school. In middle school and high school, I stuck with my grade 6 best friend, Atal. Atal was always nice to me, and he was good with other people. I, on the other hand, was super shy and wasn't good with people, so he helped me get friends that became my primary friend group in high school, consisting of Joey, a football jockey, Brett, also a football jockey, Griffin, another football jockey, Atal, a nerd and basketball player, Kyle, a nerd and one of my closest friends at the time who played Minecraft with me a lot, and me. This group I spent every lunch with talking about our lives, girls, and other high school related things. Now, one of the many traumas I experienced in my life was during middle school. I was staying with my grandma's and she would drive me to my house. I would get on my bike at my house and bike down the hill all the way down to school. Now, this one day we were about to get driven to our house to grab our bike, but my brother wasn't feeling good and he asked to stay home. My grandma let him and suggested I should stay home. She followed it by saying, "No, honey, I just have a bad feeling about today. I think you should stay home just in case. I thought she was just being a grandma and just saying things, so I decided to go to school. She stressed at this time that I wore my helmet while biking to school. And that was something I wasn't fond of and rarely did, but if it made her happy, then I would wear it. So I did. At this time, the city was working on grass and stripping and rolling in new patches of grass. I was biking downhill and there was these two girls in my way, so I turned onto the grass to pass them, speeding down the hill. And I wanted to turn back onto the sidewalk, and it was uneven with the grass because it hadn't been completely finished. This ended up making me speed wobble and falling over. My helmet hit the ground first, and ended up landing on my teeth. All of my front teeth were chipped, some of them were basically gone. I was in shock at first because I didn't know what happened. I wasn't bleeding and thought I was perfectly fine. I inspected my body, everything was good. And then one of the kids who lived in my complex was walking down as I was situating myself. He looked over at me and gasped, followed with, "Oh my." I asked him what was wrong. He then muttered out, "Teeth, your teeth." I went to feel my teeth and they were basically non-existent. I was so scared and I rushed to school, went straight to the office and called my dad. As soon as I heard his voice, I broke down and was in tears. It was awful and I wanted to know what was even worse. He didn't believe me. He thought I got into a fight and lied about the whole bike crash thing. I ended up having multiple dentist appointments to get all my front teeth capped, and that's how they currently are today. Now let's skip a couple of years, out of middle school and into grade 10. Now this is when I felt I was the closest with my friend group, and one night we were all on the Skype call, and we were all telling each other stuff but we hadn't known about each other. And then it became my turn, and I felt like I trusted them enough and knew them, so I told them about my sexual abuse as a kid. They didn't believe me. They thought I was lying, and it had me in tears. It hurt so much to open up to them, just for them to laugh it off. This threw me into a blind rage. One of my friends, Griffin, kept teasing me on the issue and made fun of me for quote-unquote lying. I was so angry with him that I did something I regretted. I threatened to kill him, something that I shouldn't have done, and I know it's wrong now. But because of this threat, along with him thinking I was lying, I was separated from the group. Later that year, I ended up dropping out for a year. I was so scared of seeing them in class, in the halls, and at one point, my anxiety got so bad, I was too scared to walk into any of my classes. So I took a break from school. I never told my dad the real reason why I did it, and I blamed it on problems with my mom. I then returned to school later the next year, worked hard to catch up, and I felt really bad because all my teachers were upset that I had left despite having good grades. The rest of my high school was pretty uneventful. I participated in a couple of drama plays, I made a few new friends, but for the most part, I was all alone. Part 5. My online life. While I was out of school temporarily, I decided that despite my previous problems with anxiety and being scared to meet new people, that I would join a public TeamSpeak server and try to meet people to play with. Now, this was one of the best decisions that I have ever made. One day, I joined Bjinx's public TeamSpeak entropy. I joined a channel with my IRL friend, most of you know as that one sweaty kid, the cheater boy. We then pulled a random person in and played a game with him. This was short-lived, and both Kyle and the person we were playing with had to go. Now, in the channel above, there was about 4 or so people, and I was thinking of joining the channel, but they all dispersed and disconnected. So I then joined a solo UHC, and recognized one of the names that was in the channel above me. This person was I then added them and asked them if they wanted to talk. This would be one of the best decisions I would make. We then talked all night and clicked well despite her being scared of me at the start. Backstory. So the reason why she was scared of me was because at this time in 2017, my brother and me shared my account. And he got random teamed with her. She ended up skybasing. My brother died and was very toxic. It was very toxic towards her, and yeah. So, I then ended up spending a lot of time with her, talking to her, getting to know her as a person. At this time, I made a couple other friends, like someone named Braxton who liked to play UHC with me. We ended up needing a third one night, and she introduced me to another girl named Bexy. She was an interesting character, to say the least. After that game, she told me that I was a good, nice person and I shouldn't be on the Entropy TeamSpeak due to people being toxic, and she didn't want me to become something like that. So she gave me the Vergive TeamSpeak run by Sab or Sabaden. I quickly noticed also frequented this TeamSpeak and had her own personal channel. We ended up talking more on Vergif, and one thing led to another, and we ended up having a channel called TryHard Hovel. This is where I would spend most of my time for the next couple of months. I met some amazing people in this TeamSpeak, such as Scotto, known as Dissociation. I met Dig Dude, Callum or K-Drew, and some other people. I then ended up befriending Sab, and one thing led to another, and I was co-owner of the Vergif TeamSpeak. I really liked this community we had on there. In the meantime, me and spent a lot of time together. Like, every day we talked for hours, and we became the best of friends. And one thing led to another, and ended up turning into a relationship. I, at this time, was very happy. I was going to therapy regularly, had a good group of friends, was finally doing good in school again, and I was in love. The TeamSpeak ended up shutting down due to Sab not wanting to pay for it anymore, and that's when we started the That One Squad TeamSpeak. Filled with most of the same people, I would spend all of my time managing and participating in group events such as karaoke nights, movie nights, stuff like this. Also, during the time, due to unfortunate events, me had to end things. We both didn't want to, but it was for the best of both of us. This broke me to be very sad for a long time. During this time, I didn't talk to many people for about a month. And then I started playing a lot more Minecraft. One day, Bo Boosted had asked me if I wanted to join Guild. I was then in that guild and playing more than I usually did because of my sadness. I was then soon DM'd afterwards by Coastland, who asked me if he left Guild and created his own guild, would I be interested in joining his guild? At the time, I was watching his streams a decent amount, so I took him up on his offer. I then met some amazing people who I'm glad to call friends today. I had a really good time moving from just a member and a person that was chill with Wingu to a co-owner and someone who spent most of my free time with those same people. I met a ton of great people from the community and tried to befriend most of them. There was a bunch of drama and Coastland wasn't happy with the way Wingu was going, and it ended. I then made some bad decisions and started cheating in Minecraft. I had joined OFN and met some very interesting people. They all have their stories, and I made even a few friends from OFN. Did have a good amount of fun in OFN, but like all things, it had to come to an end. I realized cheating was ruining the fun for others, and it took me too long to notice this, even though being told prior that it was a bad decision. So I stopped, and I didn't want to associate with the Minecraft guild no longer. Part 6, Current Day and Reflecting. Hello. So as I'm recording this, it's July 12th, 2019, and I'm currently doing my own thing, usually on Discord. You can see me in Coastland's Discord from time to time. And earlier this year, I was diagnosed with PTSD, chronic anxiety, and depression, and I'm currently taking medication for it, and my mental health is doing better than it ever has before. Now, if you should take anything from this video, I want you to take me for an example, someone who's been through a lot, and no matter what happens to you, you can get through it. And even if you're not happy, put a smile on your face and make other people happy. It's what I do best, because no matter what I'm going through, it's not fair to be mean towards others and ruin their mood and give off bad energy or bad vibes. I always try to stay positive even when I'm not the happiest, because making others laugh and knowing that they're smiling or having fun makes me genuinely happy. Shoutouts. Okay, at first I was going to give everyone a paragraph, but then this video just wouldn't end. So I'm going to shout out the people that I've looked up to, the people that I've been good friends with, the people that have changed me in one way or another, and the people that I consider a friend, or anyone who has wronged me and changed me into the person I am today. So I'm going to be shouting out people that have changed me in a good or bad way, basically. This is going to be a long list, so I'd suggest skipping it. Shout out to Scotto, Jade, Coastland, Gant, Jake, Tails, Zach, Dig Dude, Babs, Nomeo, Nick, Slice Oranges, Krusty David, Chazzy, Nick the Murph, Matt Nut, Flows, Just Omega, Sophie, Bo Boosted, Flank, Sam Nut, Angelina, Tax, Theo, Tillin, Asa, PJ, Dawson, Naps, Maddie, Sir Lord Pie, Strafa, Atoshi, Vaniles, AR Slab, Drin, Zanayath, Swap, Penguin Eater, Amir, the Beastmaster, or the Best Master, BBYT, Pikachu, Lindsay, Anna, Gecker, Colt, Ross, Joe, Noir Rhyme, Carly, Apaxel, Skep, Larissa, Asolum, Weeble, Scotty Boy, Grovile XD, Bujinx, Kieran, Serial, Alex Pedal, Mattins, shoutout Wingu, shoutout Coastland's Discord, OFN, That One Squad, Jild, Baka, and WGOTN. That is all that comes to mind right now. Sorry if I missed anyone. To anyone watching this video and that has made it this far, I want you to have a great day/night because you deserve it. Remember to smile and that you're beautiful. Like and subscribe if you want me to make any more videos on anything really. I was way too close to my mic and all my breathing picks up, but I've already done all this. I'm sorry. Dude, this sucks.